I'll admit that I'm one of those students that didn't continue with languages past year 9, and it's one of the biggest regrets I've got.
What I would say to my younger self is a bit cliche, but I think still very much relevant, and that's just take every opportunity you can and say yes to as much as you can, because particularly when learning a language, you'll always reap the benefits from it. And I never would have thought I'd be doing a PhD in French when I started university, and I couldn't be gladder.
My advice to my younger self would be, it's okay. It's all right to make mistakes. This is a process. I think that's what I didn't really understand when I was studying French. It wasn't until my teachers knew that, and they knew exactly where we were along the process, but I didn't know that.
My advice to my younger self would be definitely, especially from prep to year 10, to have taken my languages, especially French, more seriously. Because ever since I decided to really get serious about it, I've just been playing catch up. Because I'd let my level go to such a poor level that I always needed to sort of relearn things and put in more effort where I wouldn't usually have had to put in effort, and still am today. So I think if I just put in a bit more effort earlier on and actually learn to love the language and learn to enjoy the learning experience, I think I definitely have saved myself a lot of time and a lot of annoyance, and I'd be definitely at a level today that would be much better.
My advice to my younger self would have been to focus on my conversational French skills and to seek opportunities to speak to other people in French, because my reading and writing skills have always been much stronger than my speaking skills. But I found that travelling and even this most recent experience professionally, that the conversational skills would have definitely been the most useful.
I think I'd tell myself, don't ignore the basics. They can be boring, but the sooner you get on top of them, the easier it makes everything else.
So, I sort of bombarded myself with it rather than taking it slow and disciplined. And I think that's a word that I'm going to use quite often in this little talk, is discipline, because that's what I believe helps everything along.
I think looking back, some advice I'd give would be to, not get disheartened when things get really difficult. Learning a new language is a challenge, and it's something that continues for a really long time. It's not really something that you can say, well, I've learnt that now, like I'm done, move on to the next thing. You have to keep going, and it's a continual process, essentially for the rest of your life.
Keep your head down, push through the hardships, because at the end of it, it's all worth it. It's absolutely brilliant.